Dan Hooker recently talked about how he feels underappreciated by the UFC. He was telling Submission Radio he feels disrespected. They wanted him to do a media appearance at 3 a.m. New Zealand time. Hooker says he slept in, skipped it. In response, the UFC reportedly canceled his tickets to Kai Kara France's fight in Las Vegas, even though he'd flown across time zones and was willing to fight injured. He views this as disrespectful. He says, I didn't go to the UFC thing. They canceled my tickets. I would have fought injured, but then someone at a desk crossed my name off a list. I'm not going to break my back for a company that doesn't respect me. He speaks from decades of sacrifice, training through COVID restrictions, fighting on short notice, pushing through injuries, but he believes the UFC often fails to reciprocate that loyalty. He wants to fight Arman Sarukian next, but he also wants it to be 3 rounds and not 5 because he feels paying just $20,000 for 2 more rounds is not enough. In his opinion, he's getting like $500,000 for 3 rounds, and then 2 more rounds is just $20,000. He feels that does not make any sense. But credit to him for speaking out, but I think it just makes things worse. They'll probably try and penalize him in some ways, give him unfavorable matchups, and also not give him what he wants. He wants Sarukian as the number 1 contender. If he speaks out against them, they probably won't give him that. Rainier Ritter moved up 8 spots in the middleweight rankings after his win of the weekend over Robert Whittaker. So now he's in the top 5. He's ranked number 5, and Whittaker dropped 2 spots to number 7 position in the rankings.
G'day everybody. It's a couple of days since the fight. Thought I'd give you all an update. I'm disappointed, but I'm not disheartened. You know, there are a lot of things I liked about the fight. There are a lot of things I didn't, but I'm going to take it all, head back to the gym, sit with the team, pick it apart, and then get back on the horse. You know, that's all you can do. Congratulations to De Ritter. He had a particular game plan. He executed it well. It got him the win. It is what it is sometimes, but yeah, I'm gonna learn from this experience and move forward. I do want to say thank you very much to everyone that supported me, to all the fans out there, and my supporters and friends and family that support me day in, day out. Like, thank you very much. Without you guys, you know, picking me up, sending me the kind of messages on a win or a loss, it's, you know, you guys are my heart, and I appreciate that. Also, my sponsors, all my sponsors, I want to say thank you very much to. You guys, you know, paved the way for me between fights, and wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. But this isn't the end of Robert Whittaker. This is just, you know, another learning curve, another speed bump. I'm going to spend some time with my family now. We're going to go, spend some time with my family. Going to just rest, recover a little bit, and then hopefully get back on an Australian card. It's been a while, and I'm longing for it. You know, it's been a while since I fought in Australia, and I'd love to fight here again. You know, it's time. But that's me. Thank you very much, everybody, tuning out.
Bogdan Gushkov knocked out Nikita Krylov over the weekend, and as a result, he moves up 3 spots to number 10 position in the light heavyweight division, so he breaks into the top 10, and Nikita Krylov gets out of the top 10. He dropped a couple spots to number 12 after the loss. Tabitha Ricci stopped Amanda Hebas in the second round of the weekend, and she moves up 3 spots to number 7. Hebas drops 3 spots to number 10. It was looking all right in that fight for Hebas, but then she got her face bashed in with an elbow up against the cage by Ricci, and Ricci got the second round stoppage. Martin Boudet moves up 1 spot in the heavyweight rankings after his win over the weekend over Buchecha, a win via unanimous decision. In the bantamweight rankings, Marcus McGee drops 1 spot from 12 to 13 after his decision loss to Piotr Yan. Piotr Yan remains at number 3 behind Umar and O'Malley. Steve Erceg was originally supposed to fight Alex Perez next weekend, but Perez pulled out. Then Park was supposed to fight Erceg, but then Park got called up to be a replacement in the main event this weekend. So now Steve Erceg has a 3rd opponent for next weekend. Erceg will take on Ode Osborne, and the fight will be at 135 pounds, 10 pounds heavier than what they normally fight at flyweight. After winning his first 3 UFC fights, Erceg has lost his last 3 against Pantoja, France, and Moreno. And Ode Osborne snapped his 3-fight losing streak in his last fight by beating Luis Garuli by TKO in the second round. Albazi was supposed to be in the main event against Tyra on Saturday, but according to Albazi, wasn't cleared to compete by the UFC and the commission. I just finished my entire camp, and I did everything in my power to be ready, but unfortunately, I wasn't medically cleared in time. The UFC and the commission made the call in the interest of my health and safety. I respect that decision, even if my heart was ready to step in the cage and handle business. Isn't the end just a small setback? I'll be back stronger. Thanks from the bottom of my heart to my fans, team, and everyone that stands with me through the highs and lows. The Prince will return soon. Johnny Yanis gets called up to the UFC on short notice. He will be fighting on Saturday, taking on Austin Bashi. Bashi's original opponent, Francis Marshall, pulled out due to injury. Yanis has a 9-3 record. He's won 3 in a row, all 3 by KO or TKO. Bashi has a 13-1 record. He can strike too, but he may be looking to add some takedowns and submission attempts in this one. Michael Chandler got a little beef with Tom Aspinall because Aspinall, like others, have questioned Chandler's fight IQ. It's bad fight IQ. He just goes out there, throws from here, swinging everything he does, picking up full blast. It's mad for someone who has so many fights. I'm just surprised. Not really a unusual or hot take on Chandler, but Chandler didn't like it. Didn't that big goober say this like 3 years ago, and then he waited as long for John as I did for Conor McGregor after he criticized me for waiting for Conor? Cool. Many criticized Chandler's comparison there. Chandler was waiting for a big money fight with Conor McGregor, whereas Aspinall's looking to unify his title against Jones, and also the UFC we're trying to put that together. It didn't happen, but that was what the UFC wanted to do. And the UFC and Aspinall have moved on, but it feels like Chandler hasn't moved on from the Conor fight. He's still looking to fight him in the White House.
Well, as you guys can probably tell, I'm not home anymore, fortunately. I had my first checkup this morning. They didn't like the way the last chest tube worked. Thought it was infected. Put me on some antibiotics, and then, fill up a few x-rays, and hopefully get this solved fast. But, right, Stockdale Paradox, it wasn't always going to be smooth. It wasn't always going to be easy. It wasn't going to always be all the way up. So hopefully this is a small hiccup. Then I'm back home, getting stronger again. So thought you guys appreciate that bit.
Neil Magny fights Zaleski dos Santos on Saturday. Magny's a slight underdog in that one. This is Magny's 35th UFC fight, so he's up there amongst the leaders in that category. Jim Miller has 46, with the most in UFC history. Then Arlovsky 42, Cerrone 38, Guida 37, RDA 36, Oliveira 35, Jeremy Stevens 35, and on Saturday, Magny will have his 35th fight. Magomed Ankalaev kicks off his training camp for his fight with Alex Pereira this October 5th UFC 320 main event at the T-Mobile Arena. Paulo Costa wasn't a fan of De Ritter's fight with Whitaker, but he says congrats anyway. De Ritter says, you got your first win in 3 years. I got my first decision in 4 years, and you talk. Actions speak louder than words. Meet me in November in MSG. Don't sit out for another year. De Ritter's a lot higher ranked than Costa at this point now after that victory, but he's still willing to fight Costa, so I don't think the UFC would set that fight up, but I guess Costa would be interested based on the ranking differential.